Is this dysfunction my type? There are some women whose multiplication power is 0. And when you add them to your life, you end up with 0. Y'all probably ain't never heard that before. The only person that those situations had in common was you. This video might be for you if you are wondering why you end up in failed relationship after relationship and situationship after situationship and keep meeting people that cannot meet you where you're at and cannot love you the way that you want to be loved. This video might be for you if you are tired of being single and that you actually want to be in a relationship with someone that loves and cares for you in the same way that you are able to love and care for them. Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new, then welcome. I am so excited. Live stream from this week was actually amazing. I did a poll in the community tab and I asked what video would you guys want to see on Thursday, and this particular video got the most likes and votes. So I'm very excited about today's topic, and it is your type is keeping you single. So I get it. Everybody has their own preference. They know what they like, whether that is a certain height, a certain bank account number, whether that is a certain physical appearance, body shape. We all have things that we like, things that we desire, things that we find attractive in men or women. But today, guys, we're talking about the fact that some of those preferences are the reason why you're in the situation that you're in. And if you're in a happy, healthy relationship and you love the person that you're with, then this video might not be for you. But if you're someone who wants to be loved, that wants to love someone else and wants to be in a healthy, happy relationship that is fruitful and that is full of multiplication and that just emanates radiance, then this video might be for you. Because the reason why you're single might be because your type is not what's best for you. Well, first and foremost, I'm not the girl that's going to tell you that it's not okay to have preferences. I think it's only natural that we all have things that we're attracted to, things that visually catch our eye. I am, however, the girl that's going to tell you that your preferences might be the problem. And y'all, I get it. I get it. Attraction is important. You want to be attracted to the person that you're with, the person that you're potentially going to spend your life with. At the same token, I do think that attraction grows. I think that the more time that you spend with someone, the closer you get, the more emotionally, spiritually connected that you get to that person, attraction does have a tendency to grow. I actually heard maybe a couple years ago, someone say that you don't fall in love, you grow in love. And I am of the belief that love is a choice. It's the actions that you take that show that you're committed and that you care about someone. So when we think about your type and your preferences, you have to ask yourself, does my type actually serve a purpose? And if it doesn't, do I need it? Does it need to be a requirement? I think women tend to have a wish list, and I think men also tend to have a wish list. I think that for a lot of women, men think that the wish list that they say out loud is hard, fast, like it's set in stone, and they're not willing to deviate from it, except that's not necessarily the truth. So there are, yes, some women who will not date you, they will not see you if you are not above 6 feet, they will not consider you if you do not have perfect skin and you're not like the best dressed man in the party. But I did a poll on Instagram, and guys, I think that this will be useful for you. I did a poll on Instagram and it was ladies only. I said, ladies, have you ever dated a man that was less than 6 feet tall? Ladies, would you marry a man that was less than 6 feet tall? Ladies, have you ever dated a man that made less than 6 figures? Ladies, would you ever marry a man that made less than 6 figures? And for every single question, the overwhelming answer was yes. Yes, I have dated a man that was less than 6 feet. Yes, I would marry a man that was less than 6 feet tall. Yes, I have dated a man that made less than 6 figures. And yes, I would marry a man that made less than 6 figures. So the preferences that women have tend to be floating. They are wish list items. And so for men, that's really great news. So for a lot of the things that women are saying that they want, they're actually willing to negotiate on those things. Men, I know that physical attraction is very important to you all. What I'm going to say though is some of you guys, and I know the majority of y'all I think are more realistic, but there are some of you whose preferences are, they are too fixed for your situation. And I say that in the nicest way possible. Love you guys. But for some of y'all, you also have very high requirements, the same way that we look at certain women and we're like, sis, you gotta bring it down a little bit. You gotta bring it down. You're doing too much, requiring too much. Men, some of y'all are doing the exact same thing. Men, some of y'all's preferences are things that you're hearing other men say you should want in a woman, and you don't really know, one, how to identify that in a woman, and two, you are counterproductive to that thing that you're wanting from that woman. So when I say that, a lot of y'all, if you look at your dating history, that is going to be a great reflection of who you were in the time that you dated that person. So for every woman that you say you dated that was in some way ungrateful, she was rude, she was nasty, she was disrespectful, if you stayed with that woman for longer than 3 months, I encourage you to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, do you or did you share any of those traits with that woman? If she was disrespectful to you, were you also disrespectful, maybe not to her, but disrespectful to other people in your life? Because I am of the belief that a lot of times when we're staying in situations, we weren't that far removed from the toxic behavior. Yes, there are some situations where the partner is just out of line, they're out of bounds, the behavior was unprovoked, and they were out of line. But for the majority of us that find ourselves in situations and relationships that are not healthy, that are potentially toxic, that are just very negative, we were also playing a role in that relationship that was not healthy. Because if you were this saint, why did you stay? Are we ready for that conversation? Are we ready for this conversation? If you were a saint, why did you stay? So at that point, you have to ask yourself, is this dysfunction my type? Have I made this woman's dysfunction, her chaotic nature, her lack of peace, is that my type now? Do I continue to find women that are delusional, that are, again, chaotic, that bring drama? Do I continue to bring those women into my life, into my circle, into my space? If the answer is yes, is it that all women are delusional, dysfunctional, and chaotic and lack peace? Or is it that that dysfunction is my type? And that's what I want you guys to ask yourself. Similarly, women, ladies, if you keep finding men that are liars, that are cheaters, that are disrespectful, that are controlling, that are manipulative, you have to ask yourself, is this my type? Are these personality traits attractive to me? Not just attracted to me, because that's playing the victim. Am I just attracting these hateful men? No. Are they attractive to you? Do you find them attractive, likable, desirable? And if you do, you need to work on that. But if you do, that's something that you have to acknowledge. You have to take accountability for it. And then hopefully you can work past it. But we have to understand that sometimes the reason why we're single, the reason why we're in these situations, the reason why we haven't had success with healthy relationships is because dysfunction has become our type. And so how do we undo that? We have to do a better job at identifying what was the thing that we used to justify the dysfunction. I don't want that to go over your head, so let me explain. So did we say, well, yeah, this lady, she is chaotic, she is making my life hell, but she's cute, or she's really great in the bedroom, or she has a really great relationship with my family, or she's really good with my son. What was it about her that you used to justify the dysfunction? Because that's also a part of your type. Ladies, what was it about this man that made you feel like it was appropriate to put up with the dysfunction? Was it, oh, but he buys me really nice gifts. Oh my God, but he takes me on the best vacations. Oh, but he buys me flowers. Oh, but he sends me messages that are so sweet. Because those are things that we're using to justify the dysfunction. And we're allowing that to lead and to overpower the things that we're saying we dislike, we hate after the fact. Once we're out of the situation, like, oh, but this person was terrible and they were manipulative and they were, this horrible individual, but you stayed with them. And so again, if you have stayed with someone for longer than 3 months, absent, like I said, them having some sort of like narcissistic personality, some sort of like mental illness, and not I diagnosed you based on what they're saying on TikTok, but clinically actually diagnosed by like a psychiatrist, maybe they're on medication, something like that. Yes, that is a different situation. Or, like I said, they're literally pushing you down the steps. You know what I mean. Otherwise, if you stayed with this person for longer than 3 months, some of y'all been with these people for years, and then all that you have to say after the fact is they were all of these negative things, that is your type. Especially if you found yourself in these situations time and time again. Like I said, my channel is not the place for us to be crying, complaining, playing the victim, pointing the finger back and forth between men and women. This is not a man-woman problem. This is a personal issue. If you are finding yourself in similar situations over and over again, we have to at some point stop blaming the other person, because the only person that those situations had in common was you. Those people were not in relationship with each other. Those men were not in relationship with each other. They probably don't even know each other. Those women were not in relationship with each other. They probably do not know each other. You were in relationship with all of those people. So if they share commonalities, you have to look at yourself in the mirror, go to the mirror, take me with you. If you're looking on your phone, take me with you to the bathroom, look in the mirror and say, girl, that's your type. Or, sir, that is your type. We have to be honest about it, because if you're looking to find something real, something substantial, we have to get past that, okay? So that's the first part. Your type might be keeping you single because your type is dysfunctional. The second thing is your type might be keeping you single because you're actually not attracted to the things that would benefit you in a relationship. So a lot of us don't really know what we need. We don't really like to admit or look at the areas that need improvement. And again, we like to say the circumstances are keeping us down, the people are keeping us down. When in reality, we don't put a lot of consideration on the things that are important, and the things that would actually substantially benefit us and change our lives for the better, we don't find them to be that serious or that important. I need y'all to do a really thorough job. And this is specifically for my men. Women too, but men specifically. Because pairing with the wrong woman can drastically disrupt your life. So, with that being said, men, I need y'all to have a really great understanding of where you're trying to go. I say this a lot in different conversations. Like, that was one of my red flags for men. A man that doesn't have a clear direction or lacks clarity. I say that a lot to men because, again, I think it's important. I think that men are supposed to lead. In order for you to lead me, once again, you have to know where you're going. You have to be really good at leading yourself. So, with that being said, fellas, I need you to get a really clear understanding of where you're trying to go, where you're working on going, where you'll be in the next 5 years. And for everybody, that's different. And then when you think about where you're trying to be and who you're trying to be and who you hope to become, I need you to identify the type of woman that would be an ideal helpmate for you to achieve that goal. And yes, I know that y'all don't like to hear like help you achieve the goal. Like, I'm going to achieve the goal regardless. I don't need a woman to help me achieve. I'm going to make it. Like, okay, we get it. Okay, you're going to make it regardless. Okay. However, if you're talking about a woman as a desirable kingdom woman, she is there to help you multiply. So yes, you're going to have some semblance of success regardless. But the function of that woman is she is going to help you multiply that. So whereas you would have had, I don't know, $50,000 at the height of your career, and that's, that's about average, she's going to multiply. So maybe her multiplication power is times 3. So now you at 150 with her. Maybe her multiplication power is 2. So you're at 100,000 with this woman. The goal is to figure out, based on where you're trying to go, what multiplication power are you looking for in a woman? Y'all probably ain't never heard that before. What multiplication power are you requiring that your future spouse has? There are some women whose multiplication power is 0. And when you add them to your life, you end up with 0. There are some women whose multiplication power is like 10. So you bring her into your life, she has discernment, she's able to see things, she's able to help you vet people and opportunities, she's able to keep certain people out of your life and keep you grounded and keep you set and focused on the goal. She's able to take certain responsibilities off your plate, and that woman multiplies what you have by 10 because there's less responsibilities that you have to worry about, there's less distractions that you have to worry about, there's less chaos, there's more peace, there's all of these things that you didn't even know that you need, because a woman that knows how to multiply also knows how to add things into your life that you don't even see. So that type of woman, 1, not all men are going to qualify for her. But 2, if you are a man that desires that type of woman, it is going to require more from you. I did a live on Sunday with my best friend, Malia, and Alan from We Need to Talk joined in the conversation as well. And the conversation started with the question of, are men prepared to provide for a truly feminine woman? And so a lot of times when we talk about what a woman needs and providing, when we talk about a man's primary purpose or perceived primary purpose to be to protect and provide, a lot of times the protecting and the provision, protecting normally is people outside of the home. Provision typically means financial. So we're providing financial assets and then we're protecting you from forces outside of the home. A lot of times what we miss in that interpretation of what that means is protection from negative traits that you might have that might negatively impact that woman. So it's not just always the threat and the creep around the corner, but protecting her from some of your dysfunction. If you are requiring or requesting a woman with a multiplication power of 10 or even 5, because like I said, she's doing all of these things, you're going to have to make sure that you're equipped to provide her with those things, because that type of woman, her type is going to be different. Her type is not just going to be about the way that you dress, the way that you look, how pretty your smile is, how tall you are, how much money you have in the bank account. It's not going to be that. Her type is going to be a man that understands his mission, that knows how to provide and protect in the ways that I just described, that understands her role in his life, and that is willing to step up to the plate to be who he has been called to be. He doesn't have time to be going out to the club, partying, carrying on with friends and drinking all the time. And a woman will see those things and she will go the other way because her type is different. Ladies, the man who cherishes your true multiplication power, his type will be different. He doesn't want the woman who values gossip and drama. He doesn't want the woman that's out at the club every other night. So, ladies, gentlemen, look at your outcomes, and I want you to really ask yourself, what is your type? A lot of times when we start to say like, my type is this, this, and this, we're going off of like what's in our head, ideally what we would want. But your true type is dictated by your decisions. For my men, the women that you've chosen, for my women, the men that you've chosen, those are the best depictions of what your type actually is. So if you want different, identify your type, and then identify what your type needs to be, and then make active choices to choose what best aligns with who and what you want to become. I'll see you guys next time.